Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers, author of the Perception Diet, and today I want to talk to you about why desire is awesome and how you can use it to help you have a happier, healthier life. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about when I'm talking about desire is I want to address the idea of non-attachment. So for a long time in many spiritual traditions, this idea of non-attachment has been very popular, and it has been essentially it's been presented as a route out of suffering, is to detach yourself from the things that you desire, and this will help you not to suffer. Okay, so I think we need to understand first that this is a fundamentally flawed idea of the universe. Because in order to believe that you can detach from things, you have to believe that you are fundamentally separate from all that is. And that is, as I said, that's a flawed premise. At your core, at your oneness, at your being, you are connected to absolutely all things. You are fully and completely attached to absolutely everything, while at the exact same time being fully and completely attached to nothing. So in order to first just wrap your mind around that kind of paradoxical idea, and to allow yourself to understand that to try and be not attached is similar to like thinking that if you just think hard enough one day your hair won't be brown if it's brown. It's like it's not actually anything you need to try to change or worry about, because your attachment to things and your simultaneous complete detachment from everything is really just whatever lens you want to look through, right? So if you want to look through the lens of universal perspective, then you are attached to everything. You are one with everything. Everything is you, and you are everything. You want to look through your own individual perspective, and you are simply you. You are not attached to you. You're not attached to your body. You're not attached to anyone around you. Your cells never touch anyone else's cells, and therefore you are fully and completely separate from everything, and everything is transient, and everything in your life will come and go. And no matter how mentally attached you get to it, it's not attached. So, as I say, attachment is simply kind of relative to the lens that you're looking through. So to try and live your life not being attached to things, not being attached to your desires, not being attached to people, not being attached to certain situations, you will probably most likely end up living your whole life being very attached to the idea of not being attached. And it's probably going to be painful, and it's probably going to hurt, because that's not really the point, okay? You didn't come here to try and fight attachment. You didn't come here to try and not identify with anything or anyone, or not have any desires, or not have any dreams, or not have any future aspirations as a way of becoming the stone Buddha who never wants or needs or desires anything, and therefore is at perfect peace all the time. Because that's not growth, and that's not expansion. If you get to that point where you don't want anything and you don't see the need for continued growth or continued going on, even the idea of teaching other people, that's growth, that's change, that's to become attached to the idea that other people can learn from you. And so if you ever do actually get to this point where expansion is no longer a part of your plan, you will cease to need to be here, okay? So that's not really a race that you should be running. That's not really a race you need to be trying to get to the finish line, because you're going to get there. Eventually, your life path will come to a place where expansion in this physical 3D reality is no longer a part of your plan, and you'll leave. And until that point, you're going to be having desires. You're going to constantly give rise to new wants and new needs and new things that you want to go after, and that is exactly what you should be doing, okay? So that's my first little thing on non-attachment, is you are already attached to everything and simultaneously attached to nothing. And it is not the attachment to your desire that causes you pain. Okay, so this is the main idea behind non-attachment, is that if we are just not attached to our desires, we're not attached to the outcome, we're not attached to whatever, we won't be in pain. And I would say on a level that's totally true. If you are in a place where you can have a desire and you can give rise to these things that you want to have happen to you in a way that isn't painful for you to not have it right now, right? So in a way that you're not telling yourself a painful story in its absence, and in a way that if it doesn't come to be exactly as you want it to be, that is also going to cause you pain, then for sure, being non-attached can be incredibly pleasant, where you can have desires and then just have the joy in having the desire, and the joy in the imagining of it, and the joy in, as I'm going to talk about as we got on this video, and the journey towards it. And of course, so to not be attached to an absolute specific outcome as being the only way that you can be happy, that is for sure a wonderful thing. So let's now get back to how your desires are awesome for you and how you can use them to your advantage. So you give rise to a desire for two reasons. Number one, you desire something based on the way that you think it's going to make you feel. Okay, so most of us aren't aware that that's why we're wanting things. So like, you want the perfect body, you want the perfect relationship, you want the perfect job, you want more money, you want whatever you want. Part of the reason that you want that thing is because of the way you think it's going to make you feel. Okay, so it's not the actual thing that you want, it's how you believe you will feel when you have that, which is different from how you feel now not having it. Okay, and we believe that the having of the thing will put us in a place where we feel better than we feel now. And so to first understand that, so that can create a little bubble of liberation in the desperation to have the thing that you want, to understand that it's really a feeling you're going after, right? That it's really how you think you will feel when you have the thing that's driving you to want the thing in the first place. And so with that idea, what I want to introduce you to doing is spending time every single day fully imagining and visualizing yourself having the thing you want to have, and noticing how that makes you feel. Okay, so really paying attention to how it is you think you will feel when you have the thing you want, and then spend time every single day practicing that feeling. Okay, so for instance, for me, when I was dealing with eating disorder, blah, 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 and I just wanted my body to be this certain way, I visualized myself having the body that I wanted and feeling how I would feel if I had the body, okay? And every single time I did that, I was practicing feeling how I wanted to feel. And of course, my body wasn't any different, right? I wasn't going into a meditation and my body was magically transforming into this whole different thing than what it was when I first closed my eyes, okay? I was still in the exact same body I was in, you know, that was causing me so much pain, while I imagined having the body that I wanted and then feeling how I wanted to feel as though I had the body. And the more I practiced feeling how I wanted to feel, the less I needed the anchor of the perfect body to help me feel that way. And the more I realized that I was in control of how I felt. And therefore, I could feel valuable, worthy, I could feel free, I could feel lovable with or without the body, right? Because that was just something that I was deciding in my mind, that I had to have the body before I could feel the feeling. So instead of that, I just practiced feeling what it would feel like to have what I wanted, and then you will realize that you can feel how you want to feel right now, okay? And the more you practice feeling like that, the less the result of having what you want is going to be important, and the more you are going to actually just live from a place of feeling how you feel. And like I say, the more you practice feeling that way, the more often you're going to just naturally start to feel that way. And so for me, like, I ended up feeling like I had my ideal body like 6 months before my body actually changed at all. And so by the time my body actually changed, it wasn't all that important because I already felt how I wanted to feel, okay? Second thing, to understand that the thing that you are giving a desire to have and the person that you will be when you have that thing is exactly the journey that your soul needs to go on for its next level of growth, okay? So to understand that you give rise to a desire because of how it's going to make you feel, and also because in the chasing of the thing, in the going after having what you want, you will go on the growth process that is the next in line for your soul, okay? So again, to just bring it back to this example, when I was feeling how I wanted to feel in my body, and as I was practicing feeling how I would feel if I had my body, I started to make choices from that place rather than from the place of not having it, okay? So by choosing to feel how I wanted to feel, to start my day choosing to feel how I wanted to feel by imagining my ideal body and feeling how that would feel, feeling those feelings, allowing myself to feel how I wanted to feel, I then started to make choices from that place, okay? So how would I eat if I already had my ideal body? How would I dress if I already had my ideal body? How would I speak to people if I already had my ideal body? If I already had my ideal body, what kind of opportunities would I take? And I started living from that place. And that sent me on this huge growth journey that actually enabled me to be the teacher and speaker that I am today. All because I desired the body, right? So that was kind of like the carrot at the end of the stick that pulled me along the path that I needed to go on so that I could become the teacher and speaker that I am, and to write my book and to do all of these things, because that was the next journey that was in line for my soul. So if I had just said, okay, I have to stop being attached to having the body and just like be okay with the body that I have right now, I would have just stayed in that lack state. I would have just stayed in that feeling of not having what I wanted, not feeling how I wanted to feel, and not going forward to learn anything new, right? I would just be trying to be stagnant and keep everything the way that it was. And the longer I fought the desire, the longer I tried to not want the body, the longer I tried to fight everything I was doing, and even the longer I tried to create the body that I wanted from the feeling place of not having it, I just stayed stuck. And it was just really hard and really harsh, and life sucked. And so this is what I want you to understand about desire. It's not something you're supposed to try to get away from or escape from or stop having, because desire is the thing that gives rise to growth and expansion and movement, and that's why you're here. So it's only the painful story that you're telling yourself about not having the desire that's making it so painful. It's so to try to be not attached or to try to let go of having desire is the same thing as smacking your thumb with a hammer and then saying, I should cut my thumb off because it hurts. It's like, no, that pain is letting you know to stop smacking the hammer on your thumb. It's not your thumb that's a problem, right? It's not the thumb that's the problem, so you need to lob it off. It's that you need to stop hitting your thumb with the hammer, right? And it's the same thing when we try to detach from desire or try to get rid of desire. It's like saying, it's like cutting off the thumb. It's not the desire that's the problem. It's the painful story we're telling ourselves about the lack of that desire, or the fact that we can't have what we want, or that we'll never have what we want. So instead of doing that, feel how it would feel to have it. Because understand that the reason you want it is because how you think it's going to make you feel. And second thing, go on the path, okay? Go on the path towards it. Start to act as though you have it. What choices would you make if you already had it? What kind of life would you live if you already had it? And go down that path, because that is the exact path you need to go on for the growth of your soul, okay? So every desire that I have now, I feel how I would feel if I already had it, and then I start to act as though I already have it. Because I understand that as I do that, I'm going to learn, I'm going to grow, I'm going to go on the right path, I'm going to have the right experiences that are going to teach me everything that I need to know for my soul's expansion so that I can continue to be the person that I want to be. And I don't tell myself the story anymore that I can't have what I want, because I can. If every desire that I've ever given rise to is meant to be mine, if it's meant to be mine. And so long as I allow myself to feel what it would feel like to have it and give myself permission to want it, it's so much less painful and I can grow. Okay? So that's what I want to say to you. Stop trying to be not attached. You're already not attached and simultaneously completely attached. So there's nothing you need to do about that. So just allow yourself to have your desires, feel how you want to feel, and know that that path, that desire is pulling you to your next level of growth. And that's what you want. So go after it. That's what's going to help you grow. That's what's going to help you become the person you want to be. So that's my spiel on that. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I always love hearing from you. Find me on Facebook, Perception Trainers. Find me on Instagram, Urban Fruit Bat. Look at my book, The Perception Diet, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys.